Hey, what's up? Good morning, everybody. I just wanted to go over the Rocket Lab options data and the chart because I did do a video on it yesterday and I wanted to give a brief update because I think it's a really nice example of using unusual whales to understand if it is looking bullish, bearish, or if it just looks like somebody is moving their position around. But anyways, welcome to Degen Ed. That's degenerative education, meaning none of this is financial advice, just me having fun looking at charts and going over data. And so here, looking in unusual whales, I have pulled up the contract that I was talking about yesterday, which is a $57.50 call that expires next Friday, so October 3rd. But how did I get here? And so I'm going to take a step back to show you guys how I got here and then look at the data that does stand out to me as suggesting that this is still looking bullish, but that things were just moved around a little bit to be a little bit safer. And so I'm just going to click up here so it returns me back to the flow feed. And I'm just going to click unusual whales here so we can start from the main page of unusual whales. I'm going to go to flow data and then come down here to flow feed. So we're back, but I've already put the filter on here. So I do just want to go over how I filtered this to show Rocket Lab here. So I'm just going to click the red button here to reset the filters. And then I'm going to go up here to type in RKLB for Rocket Lab. And so this gives us all of the flow for Rocket Lab contracts. But I want to filter to see just the largest contracts, the whales buying, moving stuff around. So the way that I'm going to filter that is just scroll down over here to look at the premium. And usually I do 100, 200,000, but for this specific example, I can filter by 1 million. So I'm just going to type 1 there, 3 zeros, followed by another 3 zeros. So that is $1 million. And we can see the two contracts of interest at the top. And so these were both traded yesterday on September 24th. The $57.50 call expiring on the 3rd, and then also the $54 call expiring also on the 3rd. And the reason why this caught my attention is because the day before, on the 23rd, I think one of the contracts here is not shown due to the $1 million filter. But what we can see here is these little arrows that say that, the trade is a part of a multi-leg option strategy. So I went over that yesterday regarding the September 23rd shuffle around. And that's what got me to notice the $57.50 call expiring in October. And so if I do click on that contract, but actually if I click on it up here, we can get some of the information on that, why it initially stood out to me and why I still think Rocket Lab looks like it's going higher. So this is the data from September 24th in the chart, but if I scroll down just because Ed's blocking it, we can see that on the 23rd, when I initially was aware of this contract, we could see volume was over 23,000, which led to an increase in 22,500 for the open interest, going from 33 to 22,500 contracts open. However, yesterday on the 24th, we saw a volume of 24,000 being larger than the open interest, and that actually led to a decrease or a dump of contracts, over 20,000 contracts, with open interest going from 22,000 to about 2.3 thousand. So generally, that looks pretty bearish, and the total amount of premium traded on that day is over $1 million. And then if I scroll back up, we can see this candle that does correspond with that dump. Candle premium, $1.2 million. So generally, if I was looking at this by itself, I would say this looks pretty bearish because it's selling of calls over $1 million. But if I click back here and I notice we see the arrows suggesting that the trade is a part of a multi-leg option strategy, the other contract related to that is going to be the $54 call, also expiring on the 3rd. And if you notice, these contracts were both traded at the exact same time. That's another sign that suggests that these are linked. But anyways, if I click on the date here for the $54 strike call, we can see a candle that looks very similar, although the candle premium here is $2.4 million. So it's kind of like maybe this is a double down if they were buying this. And so if I do scroll down just so it's above Ed's head, we can see that yesterday there was an open interest of 833 contracts on the 24th, but there was a volume of 25,000 contracts, representing $2.8 million traded on that day. And following that, we can see that the open interest leading into the 25th has gone up by 23.1 thousand. So the majority of that volume from the previous day, that increase has led to open interest going from 833 to just about 24,000. So this does tell me that this person is getting bullish on Rocket Lab with the $54 strike call expiring next Friday. And considering that the stock price has come down, this looks pretty bad generally, has come down to close yesterday at 48.69, pre-market sub 48. Not looking so good, but we are still respecting this uptrend based on the pivot lows from over here. I've pinpointed those. And so, yeah, as long as we hold that uptrend, as long as this contract is still held, I think things are looking bullish because there are millions of dollars behind it. However, rather than going bullish on the $54 call, this person or going bullish on the $54 call rather than where they previously were with the $57.50 call, both expiring again on October 3rd. And just to note, if I do click on the double arrows there, we can see this multi-leg contract, lots of contracts, lots of stuff going into this because of these smaller premium orders, I think just to make up the full position. But we can see at the top of the list that $54 strike call expiring next Friday and that $57.50 call also. And those are the only contracts that we see below. So it's really just those two. This person has swapped their $57.50 call for the $54 call just because that's a little bit safer, I imagine. So yeah, they're still expecting price to go up, and I imagine they'll probably be rolling this again or moving this again. But from current price, let's see, looking at the pre-market, 47.54. Let's see, looking at it from, right around there. If it went up to $54, not saying that it's going to, but, that's a 13% move to the upside. And if swinging contracts, that could be, a nice in and out play. But generally, contracts are risky. They can go to zero very easily. But looking at the stock chart, I think it's looking great. I'm excited about it. And so I just wanted to share that with you guys, give a little update. But as always, those are just my thoughts. If you found them helpful, make sure you like the video, share your thoughts in the comments down below, and make sure you subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Thanks a lot and have a great Thursday. I'll see you in the next one.